All right, guys, so I want to show you now how you can use Loop Elements Pro inside of your productions. We've showed you standalone mode, all of those great features that work for the live musician. But in this section, I really want to show you guys how you can use Loop Elements Pro in your productions, and let's dig into it. So I have this song that I produced last year by this artist by the name of Jasmine Encarnacion, amazing artist. I had the pleasure of producing her record, and this was this song here called The Blood Song that was really, really amazing. It's out now. It's on all digital outlets. I'll drop the link down in the description, all of that stuff like that, so you guys can check it out. But when I was producing it, I actually programmed the percussion using Loop Elements Deluxe, which that's on the channel. You can go and watch that if you want. I'll leave that down there as well. But I thought it would be fun to kind of jump in and recreate what I did using Loop Elements Pro, because in my opinion, it's just a way more streamlined, way more efficient way to program your percussion. And I want to show you guys how I did it. All right. So here we have Loop Elements Pro. Let's check this out. This is the loop. I just recreated it using all of the elements that I use. I brought them back up inside Loop Elements Pro because everything that's in Loop was in Loop Elements Deluxe. All of that is all in Pro, all the same elements. But I have it here. And so let's just play it. So you got the big crowd claps, you got the shakers, you got the stomp kicks, all of those things like that. So of course, you're not going to just run this loop static throughout the whole song, right? It's not feasible. So what we're going to do is utilize the power of automation and key commands inside of Loop Elements Pro, so you guys can see how you can efficiently use those things to program loops. All right. So I'm going to put my automation in latch mode, which means it's going to read everything that I do on the interface, whether I'm pressing a key command or I'm clicking on something, it's going to register all of those clicks and all of those key commands right. And just to remind you about the key commands, if you press K, there they are. You can see all of those there. They also are in the tooltips. You'll see them come up if you do that or whatever. All right, so I'm going to mute a few things just to kind of get started. I'm going to mute the boom kicks. I'm going to mute the crowd claps, and I'm going to mute the shakers so the loop sounds like this. Right? Great intro. And I'm also going to do a master mute before I even press play. Now, key thing to remember about Loop Elements Pro and utilizing the key commands and such, whenever you click into Loop Elements, it takes over the DAW, it overrides your DAW command. So the play and the stop and all of that gets linked to Loop Elements. And if you want to, utilize your DAW commands, you got to click out of Loop Elements. Same goes when you want to activate and use key commands inside of Loop Elements. So if I'm clicked in here and I press like K, nothing's going to happen, right? But if I come into Loop Elements and click, now I can press K and it gives me my key commands, right? So you got to be inside of the plugin to actually utilize the key commands. Just a key point, right? All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's go from the top. I'm going to click out and I'm going to start it.
Intro, chorus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stab the one.
And bring it in. Now I got my loops playing. Verse is coming up. I want to take out a few of these elements. So verse. I'm going to mute breakdown. 1, 2, and 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now those are gone. And now we're here in the verse with just the breakdown, right? Really, really cool. Again, I'm kind of waiting. I got my hands hovering over 1, 2, and 6. And we're going to wait on it to come back to the chorus, and we're going to bring these back in. There we go.
Chorus, stab the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 6, 2 brought everything back in because it unmuted those channels, right? Really, really cool.
Verse 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then we'll leave it playing for those things, right? There's a point where I want to drop the loop out, and there's like a run that comes up.
Chain.
Where I'm going to mute it right here.
1, 2,
Master
3,
mute.
4, 5, 6.
Bring it back in. That's just me.
Breakdown. Verse 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Then take it all out. Boom. Because this part in the song, if you go listen to the original, is like a hymn where they're doing the blood. It's Jasmine singing by herself. Really, really intimate moment. It's really, really dope. And there was no loops playing on this at all. Right? But we're getting ready for the vamp. So I'm going to bring everything back in. Right here. Let's bring in the shaker on 4. Now the shaker's in.
Repeat. Vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And I just love like programming like this because it's just really, really fun. So we got 2 more elements to bring in, and that is our crowd claps and our boom kicks. That comes in on the big part of the vamp, and we're gonna bring those in. They're on channel 5 and on 8, right? So I'm already got my hands in in the position. And when that section comes up, I'm gonna go ahead and bring them in.
Chain. 1, 2, 3.
Not yet.
6.
It's on this next round. Here we go. This is where it gets really cool.
Chain.
Here we go. 1,
Stab
2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And it's getting ready to take it out, so we're gonna get ready to mute everything.
Chain. Take it out. Break. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And that's how the original went. And it's just that simple. So now that we have fully went through and automated everything, let's just kind of showcase, how that's working. So you can see everything
Intro.
is muted.
Chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stab the 1.
Loop start.
Verse. Breakdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Those are muted. Now we're in our verse. You see what I'm saying? And then if I jump in, now we're back to our regular loop. Then we get to the
verse 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The breakdown. Loop disappears. Loop disappears.
Drive.
Then it comes back
1,
in.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
See what I'm saying? And then even our big part here.
Chain. Chain. Drive. Stab the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a great way to program your loops in versus having to do all of the drag and drop and all of that. You can literally pull up loop elements, work through your track and perform it. As you can see, as long as the song is, that is as long as it took me to program my loops. And I think it's the most efficient and cool way to kind of create, and it allows you to be creative and it's fun and you can perform it, so to speak. Utilizing the key commands, automation. It's just a really cool way of kind of doing things. All right, so now that we have done all our programming and all of that, we want to actually maybe bounce this down to audio or whatever. Now, if you just leave it on the channel and you hit export your arrangement, it'll export just, you know, the audio coming through the channel. But maybe you want to drop it down into you know, an audio track or whatever. You want to add another instance of loop elements and keep building or whatever. This is really, really simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to drag the MIDI out just by going here to this little section right here. Just drag it in there and drop it in. And then you can take this and then you can loop it throughout the entire song. Okay. So the next thing you're going to want to do is turn off the host sync. That just, you know, turns it off so it's not triggering the internal loops and the external MIDI at the same time. Just kind of, you know, keeps you from doubling up on things. But once you've done that, all you got to do literally now is just like right click on your region, you know, depending on what DAW in, and bounce it to a new track. And there's your loop, and you got it bounce down to audio.
Verse 2, 2.
Just like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And everything's in there. So that's how you do it. And maybe you want to use another instance of loop elements to stack some more loops or do whatever you need to do. But that's just how you would simply bounce your MIDI down to audio and continue using it however, whatever capacity you want to use it in. But that's Loop Elements Pro.